Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Andy Bryan from Become Authentic on Video, and this is the Hangout formula. Today I have a pleasure to speak with Sarah Hill from Veterans United, and we're going to talk about Google Glass and human media. As I said, it's a pleasure to speak with her today. Sadly, we've only got 40 minutes because due to something that I did myself, I got the time zones mixed up.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. But nevertheless, actually, we've got 40 minutes to talk about Google Glass and human media and how that applies to Google Hangouts. How we can think about using them effectively with Google Hangouts. But before I get started as well, and moving into human media aspects, I'd love to find out a bit more about you and your background as well, Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a recovering journalist, a recovering television journalist. I was in television for about 20 years. Graduated from the Missouri School of Journalism in 1993. Have been interested in digital storytelling and digital skills that I can glean, many of them that I've learned from people that I've met in Hangouts on this platform. I am a mother of two. I have a 16-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 47-year-old. He's my big baby. And I work for Veterans United. I work in the storytelling arm of Veterans United, so we tell stories about veterans and military families. And Veterans United is a business. Its core business is home loans. It does mortgages. It helps veterans get into homes. I also do storytelling for the Veterans United Foundation as well, and enjoy meeting people from all around the globe in this space, and became a human media geek, and we'll talk a little bit more about that with you, Andy, coming up, when I first hopped in a Hangout about 3 years ago, when Google Plus first came out. And the way I got started was opening up a Hangout behind the scenes of a newscast and allowing individuals to have a conversation with myself, with my fellow co-anchors, and to relay information in real time, and essentially use this space as a free broadcast tower streaming live in the middle of a social network. Kind of a unique thing that's not available on any of the other platforms. The unique combination of a broadcast tower with group video chat, with search within a social network, and all of that together increases your face-to-face communication, and that's what we call human media.
Excellent. Yeah, I think it's phenomenal having all of that integrated into one network. Like, it's not just a social network, is it? It's like you said, a broadcasting platform and a place to search. I've found that when I search for things on Google Plus, it's much easier to find information than if I was to search actually on a Google search, which is quite interesting. You can find much more specific information very quickly.
You can find posts from people that you know, absolutely, especially if you have circled a lot of people or have built some contacts within that social network. Yes.
Definitely. So I'd love to find out why you've put the show together within Google Hangouts. What brought you to Google Hangouts in the first place when you first looked at it?
I've always been fascinated with the face-to-face connection and the ability to have a deeper level of conversation and a deeper level of relationship using eye contact. As a broadcaster for many years, we would do the newscast and just be talking to people. It was one-way communication. And then we would go back in the newsroom, and via text-based platforms like Facebook or Twitter, or chatting with individuals' avatars, we would have a text-based conversation with them that was asynchronous. We would say it, and then we'd go back in the newsroom, and then we would get feedback. Well, along came the advent of smartphones, and so we got a little bit more conversive during that live conversation, whereas anchors and news presenters would bring their phones out to the news studio and have a live conversation with viewers during the newscast. But again, it was just text-based. So when I was doing the newscast, I would open up a Hangout behind the scenes of the newscast and have a live face-to-face conversation with these individuals. And what I found is that I felt more closely connected to them, and they reported that they felt more closely connected to me. And even on this platform today, some of my best friends and colleagues are individuals who I've met in Hangouts. I want to do business with them. I want to collaborate with people who I interact with face-to-face. I want to share my time with with people who want to interact face to face. And ultimately, I think there's a deeper understanding and level of connection when you have eye contact. There was a recent study from Cornell University talking about brand trust. And don't we all, as businesses out there, want to boost our brand trust? And how do you do that? Well, this study from Cornell University, which actually studied cereal boxes and why they were staring at people in the aisles, why they were looking down and looking at the children, it found that eye contact increases brand trust by 16%. So you can imagine the power when you're dealing with your customers or your future customers or your key influencers that you want to develop a relationship with. If you do that within the confines of Hangouts, you are increasing the likelihood that your brand, that your personal brand, that your business's brand will be trusted. And I really think that's a valuable thing, that right now there isn't a metric to measure. You can't measure eye contact or a human connection with a +1 or a like or retweet. We don't have any metrics on this. All I know is that I was in a Hangout with Andy Brine, and I feel more closely connected to him, and I'm more likely to answer his emails or do business with him or collaborate with him or share his content because I had minutes with him or an hour with him in a Hangout. It's simple geography. What it is reducing the physical space between you and your customer. You're in the UK, Andy, and say you're my customer, it'd be very difficult for me to get you to give me the time of day because I'm in the United States, and if I reached out via an email or a phone call or anything like that. But if I discovered you in a Hangout and I was memorable to you, I had the ability to connect with you face to face, chances are that you might want to collaborate. You might want to share my content as well. So it's simply reducing the physical space virtually between your customers and your customers and your future customers.
Definitely. I absolutely love the personal aspect of it. And even private hangouts, jump on a private hangout with somebody, and it is that personal connection and just developing those relationships that much further. And the story about the cereal box is very interesting. I never looked at it like that before, but it's,
yeah, and time spent too. They always say that the more time that you can spend with someone who you're trying to sell, that increases the likelihood of a sale, right? Well, conversations and Hangouts aren't quick and fast moving. They are real time, but they tend to be more lengthy than just a quick he said, she said, on a text-based interaction. So, increasing the time that you spent with your customers has got to be a good thing.
Definitely. So I'd like to move on to actually Google Glass now, because I've looked at Google Glass from the very early stages, and I love Google Glass. I love the technology, but the only problem is I haven't managed to get my hands on any yet.
Well, here, let me hand you mine. I'll just hand it to the Hangout there, and then you can actually wear it. I do not wear glass 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or in the shower, as some originally wore it. This does come off my face. It's not permanently affixed to my face. Matter of fact, it comes off a lot because it's charging, and I don't always use it in the office. I use glass more out in the field or when I want to capture photos or videos. So all it is a 1.5 ounce wearable computer and also a broadcast tower for your face. You can live stream off glass. There's a live stream app that allows you to do it. Glass used to have video call capabilities, but they removed that to fix some bugs in it, and we're really hoping that it comes back because we're using it here at Veterans United to give some virtual tours. But you can see, essentially what it looks like. It just looks like a pair of glasses for your face there, and there's a crystal on the front, and so when you put them on your face, it's just like you have sunglasses right on your face, and then you're able to look through the prism. So you see that little, this right here, which is the glass right there, and there's an infrared sensor. That's what it looks like inside the glass. And you wear it just like you would a pair of sunglasses. At the top of the glass is the ability to take a picture. So I just took a picture by pressing this button right here that's at the top of glass. You also have the ability to have the side of it moves back and forth, so you can adjust it. It moves forwards and backwards. So that is certainly helpful. You have the ability to adjust these to fit your nose. If you have a wider nose or a smaller nose, you can adjust that as well. And on the side, all this is a piece of metal. This does nothing but hold it onto your face. And it'll be interesting to see in the future if the devices become more one-sided as opposed to, you know, all the way across your face. This obviously is the first generation of glass. It is the Model T of wearable computers, so it doesn't even have heated seats or windshield wipers yet. People, you know, in the UK, a lot of them have not had the opportunity to experience glass yet, so there's a lot of curiosity with it. And the apps are just coming out, just like, you know, they were building the Model T. It didn't have all these comforts of home, and as the apps come on, more and more utility for glass improves. The battery life improves. So I've been fascinated to play with it and to use it for some of our broadcasts on the Veterans United Network, and also for some of our Veterans virtual tours. What we are doing with glass is taking glass to memorials. World War II memorials, Vietnam memorials, Korean memorial, opening up a Google Plus Hangout and allowing other veterans to join that Hangout, and then we are the arms and legs of that veteran as we walk through the memorial and show them their memorial in real time. So that's just another example of human media. We would not be able to do that experience chatting with somebody's avatar on a text-based social platform. It's living, breathing social media and simulating a real human conversation. So that is essentially glass, and it'll be fascinating to see how businesses use this for customer service. If their hands are no longer in a phone or in an iPad, when they are checking people in a restaurant, are they able to check them in with glass? A lot of the things that you can do with your smartphone, you can do with glass. Instead of, you know, you're having your face down, it's up and in the conversation. Glass isn't meant to be worn over your eyes like this. It's up and out of the way, so that when you do get a notification, you just look up and then you tap it, and then it goes away, or it goes away on its own. So it instead of having you buried in your phone, you know, how many times do we see this? You're able to experience an event, not through the viewfinder of your phone, but experience an event, and then it's also recording, or has the ability to record if you press the button, or you give it a verbal cue. On the right-hand side, it will also record as well. So to me, as someone who captures life on my platforms via still photos and videos, it's handy for me to be able to watch an event with my own eyes, not through a viewfinder, and then also be recording it as well. So the ease of use is important. The way that I describe it is the difference between a microwave and a regular oven. In your kitchen, you have two of those, right? You have a microwave, and then you also have a regular oven. Well, with glass, you also have a smartphone, right? And you also have a wearable computer. Glass is not a replacement, at least not yet, for your smartphone, because there are some things on your smartphone that you can't do on glass yet. It tethers with your phone, and that's how it works. But you still need both of them. Glass is the microwave. It can do things in one click or a couple clicks that take you 5 or 6 clicks on your smartphone. So the way I see it is glass nukes the information, much like your microwave nukes food or cooks the food. It processes the information faster and sends it out faster because you don't have to have as many clicks on your smartphone. But I don't see it as a replacement yet for the smartphone.
I'd be interested in how you see Google Glass impacting on Hangouts, because earlier you spoke about like the eye-to-eye contact with people. Now earlier I had this question in my mind, thinking, well, with Google Glass you're looking through someone's eyes, so,
right.
So you're theoretically the camera looking through someone's eyes. But when I thought about that, I thought, would it be effective to use it as like 2 separate cameras? So you have one pointing at yourself, and well, as a broadcast, and then one as someone as a broadcaster walking around delivering the message, sharing the story. How would you see that working within a...
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, I've done examples of that. I did a video not too long ago where I wanted to share not only my view of it, so I used a regular webcam and glass and joined the Hangout from 2 different locations to show people not only what I was seeing, but also the exterior view as well. So that's being done absolutely right now to give people a unique point of view. For broadcasters, specifically glass holds a unique potential to allow individuals to see events, breaking news events perhaps, directly from your point of view. It untethers the reporter to walk through a parade or a breaking news event and show their viewers live in real time what they're seeing directly from the face. And it doesn't take an expensive satellite truck or booking satellite time or a microwave truck or anything like that. All it requires is glass and joining a Hangout. The control room from the TV station joins that Hangout as well, and they are able to put that reporter live. We've used Hangouts. I used to work for KOMU TV. It's the NBC affiliate in Columbia, and we used Hangouts as an extension of our broadcast towers. And we would send an individual to a tornado, for instance, and either all of our satellite trucks or live capabilities were tied up, or we weren't able to get a signal, but yet they were able to go live via Google Plus Hangouts on Air, join a Hangout, and tell us live in real time what was going on in the Springfield area during that Springfield tornado. So glass really holds a bright future for content creators and for not just medicine or all the other uses that you hear, but for content creators and for journalists as well, to allow that audience to have not only a live real-time conversation and not asynchronous, but to see directly from their point of view.
Excellent. Yeah, I just love the potential with it. I've managed to watch a lot of videos, but yeah, as I said, I've not managed to get my hands on a pair yet. But it does sound interesting how more and more people are using it in different ways, especially as a broadcaster, because I would probably imagine more and more amateur broadcasters popping out the woodworks to communicate with more people as well. Would you say that was the case as well?
Yeah, I would. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there are no downsides to this new technology. As I mentioned, it's the Model T, and developers are still building apps to make it work properly. There are bugs. Google has acknowledged that the Hangouts weren't quite ready for prime time, and therefore they were taken away from glass. So as we get more and more iterations of this device, you've got to think it's only going to get better and better and improve. But for right now, some of the things that glass explorers and people who use Google Glass struggle with are the battery life, because it doesn't last all that long. Back when we were live streaming a lot from the face, for instance, at the World War II Memorial, glass lasted about a couple hours. But I had a Mophie device and was able to plug it in. Now, that was on the old device. They have since come out with a new device, which is what I have on my face, and the battery life has improved with that. It all depends, much like your phone, on what you use it for. And, battery life is one of the things that goes quickly as glass. With glass, there is a learning curve. Sometimes it takes getting to learn how to join Wi-Fi networks on glass, because there are QR codes and you join it differently than you would do regularly on a computer. There's a learning curve with the time cards and how they operate, and how you get apps, and some of the apps occasionally don't work and you have to reload them as well. So it's like your smartphone. We are all learning to use this new technology, and just like you had to learn how to dial the regular telephone back in the day whenever you made your very first phone call, we are also learning how to dial the video phone that we call Hangouts, whether it be on Google Glass or on our computer as well.
Excellent. I was going to touch on the wireless features of it actually as well, because you've obviously got an HD camera on glass, haven't you? So you've got a high quality video stream as well as a wireless, which will allow you to create high streaming quality streaming video.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And there are apps now that are making up for the void with Hangouts, with the live stream app that allows you to live stream from your face. And yes, you can absolutely, record video. And the video quality, really, I've found be comparable to what you would shoot with your smartphone, as far as, not being pixelated, or the shakiness of it. When you're shooting video on glass, essentially your face is your tripod, so you have to keep your face steady as you're shooting, otherwise it will detect some of those movements. Just like you had to learn to shoot on a tripod or keep your phone steady when you're shooting video, the same with glass. You have to learn to keep your head steady.
Excellent. So I'd be interested to find out what your viewpoint is in terms of the difference between Hangouts and general broadcasting, or what you would usually do in a broadcasting studio.
Yeah, with Hangouts, you have the ability to have a group conversation. You have the ability not only to broadcast, but to crowdsource for guests. And that's that unique combination with a social network. How did you find me? You found me via Google+. Either you saw me in a community or saw a post that I made. It's not just broadcasting, it's the ability to bring people into your broadcast that you might not have otherwise had the ability to discover or meet. And that's what makes it unique. You have the ability to broadcast via YouTube, and oh, by the way, also bring in a co-host from another country, and that happens all the time, to bring in a guest from another country. And we've always had the ability via Skype, right, or via some other online service that allows you to do video chat. But what makes this different from Skype is the crowdsourcing tool, the ability to search and find individuals to join your broadcast, and not only search and find them, but search and find people who are interested in your content. And on Skype, I can't tell you what my friend's Skype name is. I don't have the ability, to recall that information. But on Google+, I have the ability to have everyone's video phone number. And in the future, with new technology, the video phone is going to become even more important to businesses. Say, for instance, how when you search on mobile, there's a little call button that you have the ability to click a call button. Who knows in the future, when you search on mobile, we have the ability to make that either a video call or via a regular phone call. There's a new piece of technology that is out right now called WebRTC, Web Real-Time Communication, that has the potential to make video calling a lot easier. So businesses really need to pay attention to human media and interacting with people face-to-face, and allowing people not only to see the polished version of their business on what would happen in a flyer or on a standard piece of marketing material, but also allow them to see the real faces, the real customer service representatives that have the ability to converse with their customers in real time. There's also a new feature out called Helpouts. Are you aware of Helpouts, Andy, at all?
Yeah, I love Helpouts. I think they're fantastic. Just a service-based offering.
Yeah, and that's human media. We have always had the ability to reach out for individuals via the yellow pages to find services. What really it does is combine human media with the yellow pages, and you can transport somebody right into your same office building, teach you guitar lessons, fix your computer. We offer helpouts for individuals who are interested in hosting Hangouts. You have the ability, again, to crowdsource for customers and future customers. You can search for them, and you can also find individuals who are then interested in your particular service.
Yeah, I think I love Helpouts. I think they're amazing.
Helpouts aren't available, I guess, to everyone right now. I think it's still in a beta form. Not everyone has the ability to host one, but keep an eye on that. And definitely join some, so you get the workflow down, and you know how it goes, so that when they are opened up to everyone, you have the ability to jump in with both feet.
Yeah, excellent. I'd I think we're close to the 40 minutes mark, but I've got a few more questions if we can fit them all in. Um, I I looked at Chromecast a lot, and I think Chromecast has a lot of potential as well in terms of broadcasting like Hangouts onto the TV. So bringing the Hangouts into your lounge rather than on the computer. Do you see that as a big evolving thing moving into the future as well, in terms of maybe maybe you could say taking over some of the TV stations, because we're gathering much more information online nowadays?
Yeah, I can't say really for the TV stations, but I can speak for that big box in the living room that may or may not be called a TV in the future. It's really morphing into a large computer monitor that's equipped with a webcam. A lot of families are doing their video chat in the living room on the big monitor, and they are essentially transporting their family and friends right in there. So the living room is a really fascinating place to watch, not only with Chromecast and you know, the ability for a video chat, but something that Google announced, they debuted at Google I/O this week, something called Android TV, and the ability to use your Android phone as a remote control to essentially control the TV and, you know, stream what's on your Android phone also on the TV as well. So that will be fascinating to watch and to see what that does with Chromecast, if there's any you know connection there. But yes, the living room for human media, for video chat, is an interesting battleground to see what all of these smart developers are coming up with.
Excellent. Excellent. That's again absolutely fantastic. I'd be interested to find out. I know you've done broadcasting yourself, and obviously you've done a lot of Hangouts. Did you have any fear when you first jumped in front of the camera, maybe all those years ago?
Oh yeah, you always have fear. When you don't have fear, then I don't think you're thinking hard enough. But when you've been in front of the camera for 20 years like I have, it becomes easier, and you, how do I explain this? You peel back the layers of stress, and you are able to channel that as motivation and energy. It's like anything else, like riding a bike. The more you do it, the more you're going to be comfortable behind the camera. People who are in front of the camera sometimes have a tendency to breathe quickly, and when you get upset or excited, all your breathing is up here. And the way that you relax in front of the camera is to do what's called diaphragmatic breathing. You have a structure in your body called a diaphragm that is kind of like a balloon that goes back and forth. If you're breathing more from your diaphragm down low, then you are breathing up here. You'll really find your body relax, you will find your voice relax more, and your mind relax more, and you come across more in a calm way. It doesn't mean in your mind that you're not really freaking out, but if you can get that breath control going and keep it going, sustaining it in a manner that allows you to calm yourself but yet still express yourself in a calm way, that makes me feel more at ease. So as an answer to your question, do you get nervous? Yes, you get nervous, but you learn to control it with your breath control.
Excellent. I'm glad you brought up diaphragmatic breathing, actually, because I think
sounds like something from band class, doesn't it? When you I used to play the bass clarinet, and I had a band teacher, Mr. Barry, who would always talk about singers use it too. I mean, it's not just broadcasters, but singers breathe from their diaphragm as well. It just gives you a whole, a more holistic sound.
Definitely. And I remember I listened to Roger Love's audio series quite a while ago. He's forgotten what he's known for, but he helped people like Anthony Robbins with their projecting their voice, and it's amazing how much easier it is to project your voice when you use diaphragmatic breathing, and it really does control the nerves, doesn't it? It's amazing.
It does. Your breathing is connected to your mind in some weird way.
So how would you see Hangouts evolving probably 5-10 years down the line? 10 years is probably quite far into the future now, but maybe 5 years down the line.
I would see a lot more businesses embedding the ability to open up a video call on their websites. So in their contact information that they're listing, they'll not only give a phone number, but they'll give the video call phone number that they have. The customer then has the ability to interact with that company face to face. You will find not everyone, wants to see or talk to a customer service rep, but there are a lot of instances, for instance, if you feel like you aren't getting what you're deserved with an online retailer, the ability to talk with them face to face for a customer really increases the satisfaction, because you kind of feel like you are being listened to more, and perhaps the customer service agent feels that as well. But for customer service, I see Hangouts and video calls being used a lot more in the future, as this generation of selfies, right, who grew up having their face on camera, will then evolve to making more video phone calls. Phone calls are kind of foreign, just phone calls with this younger generation. They're accustomed to Snapchat and seeing their face on camera. So, businesses really need to pay attention to that video component and equipping their business for live video.
Definitely. And I was supposed to ask this at the beginning, but I really wanted to get stuck into the meat of the information today. But what would you say the real purpose behind your show has been with Veterans Reunited or United?
Mm-hmm. We use Hangouts, and we have a variety of shows. So we do a show not only to educate our customers and future customers about VA loans and how customers can use their VA loan. We bring on experts from all around the nation, the author of the book on VA loans, to talk to customers and future customers. Here are some of the things that you need to do in order to be able to afford your own home. We also have a program called Heroes Hangouts, where we bring veterans and military charities on from throughout the nation to share with people some of the exciting things that they're working on. We also bring celebrities in our Hangouts and allow other people to have a conversation, a face-to-face conversation with a celebrity. Who wouldn't jump at the chance to have a face-to-face conversation with, say, Jon Stewart of The Daily Show, right? We had him in a Hangout, and we were able to talk with him and laugh with him. That experience probably wouldn't have been as neat had it just been a text-based chat. But the individuals and the veterans who were in that Hangout really found value in that experience, because essentially they got to be in the same room, right, video chat room, with a famous comedian here in the U.S. I don't know if Jon Stewart of The Daily Show is as, if you're familiar with him in the UK, but experiences like that is reducing the physical space between you and the people that you're talking to, you and celebrities, not just business contacts, but celebrities as well.
Yeah, I remember I came home from working with a client. I think it was just over a year ago now, and I saw that Richard Branson was
he's in Hangouts.
And I just tuned in live. I was like, wow, this is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and the celebrities that get that, we've not had. I mean, some celebrity out there with huge status needs to open up more Hangouts and do that. The first celebrity that does that wins, because that connection to their audience is going to be so deep, far surpass anything they have on Twitter or Facebook, because they're seeing them. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had to add that.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So what have you got coming up with your Hangouts over the next 2-3 weeks or even a month?
Yeah, we do casual Hangouts behind the scenes, where we just open up a Hangout and allow individuals to come in and talk about what they're working on, share information. We did that once, and we had a gentleman, Craig Thompson, hop in and talk about the video drones that he's using for real estate agents, and showed us this fascinating video. Well, that was the subject of a future show that we're going to do with real estate agents. And he also provides some images for some of our virtual tours as well. We have a couple different shows that are coming up. Our one show, VA Loan Live, is happening in a couple weeks, and that is where we educate people about how to use their VA benefit, veterans, military families, how to use their benefits in order to purchase a house. People ask questions. They have the ability to ask questions of our experts, and we present it in a show format and also share video stories about individuals who also use their VA benefit as well. So we have 2 of those VA Loan Live shows that are coming up this month.
Excellent.
And Veterans United, if you all want to follow us on all of our social platforms, Veterans United is at Veterans United on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook and also on Google Plus as well, and we have a veterans and active duty community for any of the nation's veterans and military families out there who wants to see some of the content that we share there.
Excellent. And I bet it's a real privilege for everybody actually to connect with some of the veterans of who have really tried to make our world a better place. And so that's just such a privilege for anybody to be able to just connect with those people and have that intimate chat and find out more about their story and where they've come from and where they're moving into.
Yeah, our veterans are living pieces of history, and they are passing away so quickly. So for us to be able to share some of those stories is so important, because in a few years, all of these World War II veterans especially are going to be gone. So what a privilege it is and an honor it is to be able to not only meet some of these individuals, but to put them on a platform and say, world, look at some of the fine men and women who are serving your country.
Definitely. Excellent. Well, again, thank you for joining me on the show today and sharing your knowledge of human media, Google Glass, and so much more. It's been a real privilege.
You as well, Andy. Best of luck to you, and for all of the individuals who are tuning in looking for more information about Hangouts. The easiest way to learn about them is just to join them. So we hope to see you in the boxes, as we say, and we always end our Hangouts with a Hangout high five. So I will give you a high five to you there in the UK and to everyone watching. So have a great day.
You too.
Great evening.
I want to just leave it with as well. This is our 5th episode of the Hangout formula, and we've only got 1 episode left. And it's been a real privilege to speak with all of the people that I've had the privilege to interview and speak with. But next week is our final show. And next week we have Mia Voss on the show. And Mia Voss from the Mia Connect is going to talk about how she uses Google Hangouts to build her network online and to really connect with those people. So if you know about Mia Voss, you know it's going to be a fantastic show with a lot more value shared as well. So I will say apologies for my low connection speed at the moment because the graphics not fantastic. But she will be on next week, same time, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and we look forward to seeing you all again next week. So I'm going to say bye for now.